All right.
It's trashed. I trashed it when I was 25, and then I retrashed it in this accident 2 years ago.
Okay. And then so before the accident, there was already stuff going on there.
There was already pain there.
From
Did you say
what?
you dislocated it?
No, I think I might have dislocated it on the last accident, but they popped it back in.
Oh, okay.
But when I was like 25, I bent a steering wheel. I got rear-ended, and I literally bent the steering wheel, and that was
Jeez.
before airbags.
And then,
And then I had they put cortisone in there, and
all right.
and kind of just went away. And
Right
every
on.
once in a while, I would twist it the wrong way, and it would
Okay.
hurt.
And then, what's the line of work you're in?
Furniture
When
mover. And
you were
heavy
moving,
lifting
moving heavy stuff.
loading furniture onto trucks for movie production.
And then when you were younger, did you ever play sports for a long time?
I was a bowler.
Bowler.
I was into
And you're
bowling.
right-handed.
Yeah.
All right. So,
And then one more thing, just so you know.
yeah.
When I had this accident, it totally froze, and that's as far as I could get with my arm.
Okay.
Now I'm like,
Right there. Do that again now, but straighten your elbow this way. There we go. And then from there, try to take it as high as you can without bending the elbow. So wherever the elbow bends, so see how the elbow bends there?
Right.
There we go. So, okay.
that's it.
That's it right there. Okay, cool. Bring it down for a second. So what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna kind of walk both of you through like my thought process with trying to figure out like, what is it where do we want to go with your shoulder? Obviously, like getting rid of pain would be one, right? So what types of motions hurt the shoulder, or is it just constant pain all the time? Like you wake up,
No,
you get out of bed.
It actually hurt last night a little bit.
Okay.
But, it's gone from. I mean, I literally when I had my accident and it froze, I was like having to put
All the time.
stuff
Yeah.
on it all the time.
Okay.
But now it's just if I twist it the wrong way,
Okay.
or if I work real hard doing something with it, then it'll hurt. But
Okay.
it's come so far, but I still
Okay.
want to. Of course, I want as much range of motion back
For
as
sure.
I can get.
For sure. So, so we talked a little bit last time when I was drawing the diagram in there. You have a symptom where you feel shoulder pain in a specific area. So you're talking about the front part of the shoulder, right? So the rotator cuff in general is going to be like, those four muscles are designed to basically keep your shoulder attached to your torso, okay? But then when you're moving, say you're doing a press or you're lifting the furniture or whatever it is, then those small muscles are designed just to do that part, right? Think of like a golf ball and a tee. It's just designed to keep that golf ball in the middle of the tee, right? Anything that steers it off, that's when we're gonna feel different types of symptoms of the shoulder pain stuff. So that's why usually the PTs will go after those small muscles because they want joint centration. They want that golf ball on the tee, right? But then you go back to moving the furniture the way, and then we have a problem. So what we're gonna do is actually look at the whole body as like more of the root cause of why those four muscles won't do the job that they're supposed to do. Does that make sense?
Right.
So the first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have you, can you set up for like an oblique opener? Like how you normally have them lie down for that?
I have it already open.
Oh, okay, cool, perfect.
That was part of this too.
Yeah.
Shooting down. And also in my field, the most common injury that leads to surgery is torn rotator cuffs. My brother had it. My brother did the same thing.
There you
for
go.
a living.
All right.
And I can't even tell you how many friends I have that have had that surgery, but luckily
shit.
I have not had to go that far.
All right, so this is when we put this video out, then it's gonna be for all the furniture movers out there. Come see me.
All
No,
those
just kidding.
interested guys. Those, yeah.
All right, so go ahead and lie on your back, and then I'll explain what it is that we're exploring here and why I'm exploring this. All right. So you can put your knees up or put them down, whatever feels comfortable for you. But so on the side of your body, you have your external obliques, and then you have your lower abs, which are right below your belly button, right? So what I want you to do is to just create some tension right here below the belly button when you inhale through your nose. So if I did it on myself and I push my thumbs right in here, I'm going to actually be a little aggressive, and then I'm going to push into that as I inhale. Once that inhale stops, that's the end range of my contraction, let's say.
Okay.
And then I'm going to blow out through the lips. Let's see if you can do that and just coordinate it. So once the inhale stops, just breathe out and fully relax. So you feel those muscles working there? Cool. Do a couple more breaths for me. So what I'm trying to do first is I'm trying to create awareness first. So I'm just looking with my eyes, like, to see if where is the tension going, right? So I'm asking for a specific area, and then I'm looking to see what other things. So you see something turning on that, right? Go ahead and relax your hands off to the side. Now, you mind if I touch there?
No.
So I'm gonna dig in here, okay? Cough for me. You feel that when you do that? All right, so when you inhale, I want you to push hard into my thumbs. Okay, relax for a second. So when you inhale, I want you to
when I
push.
inhale,
Yeah,
okay.
so think of the air going into it
Okay.
and pushing, and then relax on the exhale, okay? Ready, inhale. Relax, 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 relax. And inhale. Relax, relax, relax. Good. Inhale. Relax, relax, relax. One more for me. Inhale. Relax, relax, relax. Cool. So far what I'm assessing is how much I see just with my eyes versus what I feel with my hands. So the lower abs are coming in a little bit, but you can see that there's a lot of tension up here, right? So that's just the first thing. Now we're gonna go to the external oblique, so I'm gonna go a little bit towards the sides here. So I'm gonna push here, and what I want you to imagine is I'm pushing you in, and I want you to push my thumbs away.
Okay.
So same thing on the inhale. I want
Is
you
that
to,
with the breathing, right?
that's
Okay.
right. So inhale, push this way, and relax. Good. Inhale, push, 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 push. There we go, relax. Inhale, push. Hey, that was better. Do a couple more. Right here, right here. There we go. Good, one more. Good, all right. So did you feel that one oblique could push a little bit harder into my thumb than the other?
Yeah, I felt this one could.
Yeah, right? So that's just knowing whether, so for me, when I look at that, I'm just trying to evaluate how much connection you have in terms of, so I'm really digging in there, and how much connection you have to actually drive, push through that oblique. Let's do it one more time. I'm gonna try one more thing. So push. There we go. So you feel that versus this one?
Yeah.
Ready, and go. There we go. See how that's solid and this one has like,
Yeah,
all right,
little
one more
mushy.
time. That's right, come on, come on, come on, come on. Last one, push really hard on this side. Hey, there we go. Oh, that one's hard. Okay, cool. So that would be the first thing, just to kind of look at like what's going on at the trunk, because your shoulder connects to the trunk. So this would be kind of the main area that we look for first, just to kind of see, because if you're pushing, pressing, pulling, whatever it is, we want to make sure that there's stability there, because like the other day you were holding the med ball, right? And if there's something going on one side, then there's going to be some sort of compensation on the other side.
Does that affect that affects the balance too, right?
Of course, it's going to affect all that. Let's stand you up. Got that? I got you. Good. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of like what we would call just like an eye test, right? I'm going to test your shoulder by, I'm just going to put it under a little bit of stress,
Okay.
right? And what I'm looking for here is to just see what happens when I ask for the group of muscles to move, but then you start to fatigue, right? Are you okay to hold something while standing? Cool? All right. So I'm just going to hand you a plate here. Yeah. Okay. You want to do that?
Okay.
Let's just go with 10. So I'm just going to have a 10-pound plate. And then all I want you to do is you're going to put your palms on here, but your fingertips are not going to touch.
Okay.
And then if you extend your hand the way I had you do that over there, and then I want you to bring it as high as you can without bending the elbows, right? So if this is where your end range is, that's totally fine.
Okay.
All right? So extend those elbows and bring it up right there. Good. So you see that if you were to look from the side that the elbow, so just keep holding. Just keep holding. Good, good, good. Uh-huh. So now what I'm looking at, good, good, keep holding, keep holding. All right. There we go, there we go. Now we start to fatigue there. You got it, you got it, you got it. All right, bring it down for a second. Go ahead and relax. What do you feel? I'm gonna give you like a couple moments, and I want you to like just kind of take in from right to left what feels more tired than anything to you. Your shoulder, right?
It didn't at first. At first it was here.
Yeah.
And then it started to fatigue, and then I could feel this
Yeah, there you go.
do that.
Good. Did you notice anything that was happening up here?
Well, this
That right
tight,
there, right?
yeah.
It got tight. So when the pec fatigues or the lats fatigue, what generally is going to happen is that's why the elbow bends, is that the elbow bends because you're trying to find tension somewhere, right? So if this fails, right, to stabilize the weight, then we have to go somewhere else for it because you're trying to hold it or you're trying to press it, you're trying to do the thing. So you're gonna have to find tension somewhere else, right? Do this for me. We're gonna do that one more time, but I'm gonna have you face this way. That way, if you lose your balance, so you're here, just lean that way. Okay, because I'm gonna look at your shoulders from behind there. Good, and straighten those elbows for me. Good. There we go. So, there. Good, good, good. And then you'll notice this is different here. So if I were to, you're gonna see a difference here. Good. All right, the elbows start to bend. Good. Go ahead and relax for me. Excellent. I'm gonna bring over a bench in case he might be a little tired. Cool. So let me just explain what I'm looking at, and then if we were to look at the video, and if I had done that test on you without your shirt on, what you would have seen is from the back, what I was looking at is the space between your neck and your shoulder is different on either side. When I do an assessment on somebody, I'm not looking to like conclude anything today. All I'm looking for is like, it's just showing me things, and then we have to like make some sort of like hypothesis, let's say. But the eye test will kind of tell us like, hey, this looks not symmetrical or something's going on here, and then we ask, hey, what do you feel? What do you feel? Right? So that way we have an awareness first about what's going on, and then we kind of go to work and we're basically testing whatever that hypothesis is, right? So far what I saw was that the right side, we see that shrugging happening there. That means that to me, if the shoulder is elevating for whatever reason when you're doing this, that there's something that's not doing what it's supposed to do. So then I basically have to look at it and go, okay, is it an oblique issue? Well, when I did that one, the oblique was firing okay, but the other one wasn't. So we'll address that part just to make sure that things are in balance at the trunk, right? Because one thing that we never know, because you have an injury there, is even if you're right hand dominant and you still want to do things with your right hand, that would explain. So when you turned around, the right side of your lumbar is like thicker than your left side. So that might mean that when you're trying to press and you're firing that lumbar on the right side, that may be where you're displacing some of that tension, right? So we'll, as we kind of peel away the layers at all these things, as we go, okay, what if he pressed this way, or what if he did it this way without the lumbar? What happens, right? So as we kind of figure those things out, then we'll see how that impacts your shoulder function.
Process
And
of elimination.
exactly, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of give you guys what I think is the issue, and then you start addressing that whenever. So if you're doing a more upper body heavy day or something, you're going to change those things to try to get to a place where if the pecs are firing or whatever it is that I'm thinking, we'll see how that affects the shoulder.
Okay.
And if you start to feel better about it and start to get stronger, then we know we're on the right track. How you know if you're on the wrong track is you will try to do it, but it won't work, meaning you'll either still feel pain, or the exercise itself is going to make you, you just can't do the exercise, let's put it that way. And then we'll have to search for other ways of doing it. So I think the first thing is to try to shut this off and this off, right? So what we're going to need is for this to come in a little bit more. So it's going to be your teres and the big lat on this side. Probably, if I look just by looking at you, the upper pec here is more pronounced here than here. So you see how a little bit flatter it is. So he's going to need a ET on the right side. Okay, so that would be like incline press kind of stuff. Yeah, even the pec overall is a little bit smaller on this side than that side.
Right, which
Okay.
makes sense because any pressing is like this.
There you go.
So that this elbow's always bowed in a pressing, whether it's here,
Yeah.
there, everywhere. So
Another thing that you might consider when he's doing it is that one of the reasons why this might happen when you're pressing is that if the bicep doesn't stabilize the bar or whatever the thing is, that's when you get those types of movements where either it's too close. So for like you guys, you do a lot of tricep, right? Or the person that goes straight into the delt, right, to get in there. So the pec and the lat being connected in the press, it is more of a drive, boom, that way, as opposed to like a over toss kind of thing. And that's what makes the shoulder like uncomfortable, right? Even when they try to go down here, if they don't have the mobility to get down, when the pec gives up, what you're going to notice is that you'll see that happen.
Yeah.
So one of the first exercises I would probably start with him is the bicep opener. So can be on his back or on the bench with his feet on the bench if you want. And then all we're looking for is activation of the pec. Inhale, exhale. So trying to get a pec pump out of, but what you're looking for here is that that it doesn't rotate, right? That the tension is here. So he's gonna have to grip with these three fingers. Because you look at my arm, like this arm is straight, but this one isn't. So it's hard for me to sometimes to get to the inner bicep. I can get to the outer one, but I have a little bit of a hard time. So when I do this exercise from the wrist through the shoulder, I have to really work hard to be there, right? So to extend my arm and do that is really hard. That's when everything gets to the trap.
Yeah.
So that might be a good opener for him to start off with, and then little by little start to peel away the layers. So you create some range of motion under tension with the bicep opener, the oblique opener, and then start to go one by one. So getting to the bicep. So that could be strict curls on the against the wall,
Yeah.
and then hammer curls against the wall, and then start to get to those pecs and get to the big lat in the Terry. So the big lat, making sure that he's pulling in ET or dumbbell row in ET, right? And you have to make sure that that muscle gets stressed. So if you were to go one by one, what you would do is look for ways to create strength with, small reps versus getting a lot of work so that we get a connection into those muscles with like how I had you do like 100 reps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really
Yeah.
get a pump into the muscle.
Yeah.
Because when you get that pump, that's when you go like, oh,
Yeah.
that's where that muscle is, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if he's gonna do like a lat pull down, let's say, get a weight that's kind of light, but one that he could really activate the lats and get it going, and maybe sets a 15 to 20, but 4 or 5 sets, whatever it takes to get to the 100.
Right.
But if you start to see him switch, so that would be your job, is like, all right, I feel the lats those first couple reps, but then all of a sudden you start to get tired and you start to get back into the trap.
Right.
You got to put it down, lighten the load, get back to the lats. Boom, 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 boom.
Would that also happen, like if, say I had 100 reps to do, and I hit like 18 or 20, and all of a sudden I start doing that, would I stop there
Stop.
and then
Yeah.
rest and then do another set?
That's right. Because you could always do another set.
Right.
You could always lighten the load. So the most important thing is to get the pump in the right place. So yeah, sound good?
Cool.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
What did you
All right.
think about the arching while he stands?
So in terms of like displacement, so he's holding an object in front of him.
Right.
So once the IT chain, because if the lower abs and the upper abs are connected, so to speak, this is why like people who blow up their backs, it's usually because, so the right side of his lumbar wants to do
Right.
a lot of stuff.
Right.
So
So
even,
he leans back on that
yeah.
side.
So what you'll have to watch is like, say when he does a dumbbell row, is that he's gonna stabilize there by locking it in, but not to lift the weight with it.
Right.
That he's gonna
Right.
have to drive, you know what I mean?
Needs to be on but stay.
Yeah, there's this one type of lat pull that I've seen where you can actually, like, if you hold my hand or I hold your wrist and you pull against me, so not down, pull. Yes, that way, right? So if you pull, then the lat should be on there without rotating that forward. Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
See? Yeah, so because that's what a lot of people do with the dumbbell row, is that a lot of times they'll pull either with the bicep or they'll shrug and pull. And you'll see people do that kind of motion.
Right.
And then there you go. See? So, or they'll move it that way,
Yeah.
right? So, when I pulled you, it's like you wanted to push down that way. That's what you're trying to do when you do that,
Yeah.
instead of pull that way. The elbow has to drive back. So you could do that standing. He can lean up, push like he's gonna push against the wall. As long as the shoulder, because you see how I'm pulling against myself. That's why the bodybuilders do that. So I'm holding here and I'm contracting that lat.
Yeah.
But if this starts to happen, now we have a problem. So that's what you're gonna kind of look for whenever he's doing any lat stuff.
Yeah.
So change the grip. So wide, supinated, narrow, everything in between, and just build those lats. So if you get those lats going, get the pecs going, and mainly too that bicep on the right side. If that bicep turns on, I think if you find one exercise that pieces all of that together, maybe a rope pull, something like that, where it gets the whole IT chain lit up, that would be like your way of testing that all of those things are working.
Right.
And it should equate to he should be able to lift that arm and
I think
Be
part
cool.
of the reason we haven't done some of that stuff is because grip is a major factor centered.
Sure.
So like dumbbells, like he won't be able to hold them here, so he'll always be
Yeah.
kind of up and down, and so then it's kind of biasing, you know.
It's going to bias the ET side. So
Right.
we have to find a way to get something supine, even if it's a palm open.
Right. So he uses
know.
a barbell,
Okay.
right? But
Cool.
then even moving that.
What about
biases
you can
the
do?
left.
I wonder if there's a way that we could do it with the wrists. You know, like with a cable or something like that. Like they have the ankle ones that straps.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying something like that. So he would start in this position and go this way. So he'll be standing up.
Okay.
Maybe try that.
'Cause
Other than
that's
that, I
like
would
my
go.
thought process.
Other than that, and then I would go with, you know, you could try banded somehow. You know, off the
I
rig
still
or so.
think though that would be here. This is not happening at right now.
Okay.
Most everything is neutral.
Okay.
Even sandbags, it's never here. It's
Mm-hmm.
neutral. So
Okay.
that's where I have to think a little bit
Okay.
more, because neutral seems to be where we're at.
Okay. Then that's where you start.
Yeah.
You know, you keep starting with that or stay with that until we get to a place where he can
Right.
rotate a little bit. Sound good?
Ooh.
All right. I'll be checking in.